Hello everyone, in this video we'll go over the Book C, Unit 2 Vocabulary Words, numbers 1 through 30. Let's get started. Our first word is accessory. Accessory is a noun and it is something you add to what you are wearing, such as a necklace, earrings, hat, belt, scarf, or other thing. For example, she bought a scarf and other accessories to match her dress. All of these items here can be called accessories. We have hat, sunglasses, a bag, a watch. They are all accessories that you can add to what you are wearing. And of course, jewelry is an accessory. You can add it on to yourself to match the clothing that you are wearing or to make it look better. Do you like to wear many accessories? Our next word is adjustable. Adjustable means that it is something you can change to fit you better. For example, these straps are adjustable, so you can make them longer as the baby grows. So this is what an adjustable strap looks like. Maybe your backpack has a strap like this, and you can move it up or you can move it down to make it longer or shorter. We can say this one is adjustable because you can change the size of it. So anything that you can change to fit you better, you can say it is adjustable. Our next word is barrette. A barrette is a noun and it is a small clip used for holding hair in place. For example, she wore a beautiful rainbow barrette in her hair. This is what a barrette looks like. Girls wear it in their hair because it looks beautiful or because they want to keep their hair out of their eyes and their face. So they can use these barrettes and clip them in their hair. Do you have any barrettes at home or do you know someone who often wears them? Our next word is braid. Braid is a verb and it means to tie 3 or more pieces of hair together so that it looks like a rope. For example, I want to have a long braid in my hair like Elsa. This is what a braid looks like. You can tie the hair together and as you can see, it looks a little bit like a rope after it's all tied into this braid. So when you see someone with hair that looks like this, you can say she has a braid in her hair or she braided her hair. Our next word is bunch. Bunch is a noun and it means a group of the same kind of things that are stuck together. For example, please buy 2 bunches of bananas. Or she put all the flowers together in one big bunch. So again, it's a group of the same kind of things. So here are all bananas, here are all grapes, here are all flowers, and they are stuck together. So the bananas are stuck together here at the top. The grapes are also stuck together. You can pull them apart, but they are stuck together when you don't pull them. And the flowers are also, they are put together using this ribbon here. So anytime that you group similar things together, you can call them a bunch. I bought a bunch of bananas or I bought a bunch of grapes. Can you think of any other things that are put together as a bunch? Our next word is contemplate. Contemplate is a verb and it means to look at and think about something for a long time. For example, he contemplated the real meaning of the story. When you contemplate something, you stop and you think about it for a long time. Maybe you are thinking about the answer, or you are thinking about what you should do, or you're thinking about what something means. Then you can use this word contemplate instead of think. So, for example, I can say they are contemplating the answer of the question. Or the man is contemplating what he should eat for lunch. He's thinking about it for a long time. Our next word is counter. Counter is a noun and it is a long, high table. The example says, she put the 2 bags of groceries on the kitchen counter. When we talk about counter, we can use it to describe this part of the kitchen here. This high table where you can put things is called a counter. This one is in the kitchen, so we call it the kitchen counter. The other example says, the man behind the counter told us the prices of watches. So when you go to a store, like a jewelry store, there's usually a long counter and there's a person that's standing behind the counter that can sell the things that you want to buy. We also call that one a counter. Any long, high table can be called a counter. Our next word is decay. Decay is a verb. It's the action word, and it means to break down or become destroyed by a slow, natural process. So this is something that happens naturally to things like fruits and vegetables. The example says, leaves decay on the forest floor. If you look at this video, you can see the flowers and the leaves are decaying. They are breaking down, they are dying very slowly, but it's something that happens naturally to everything. Everything dies, and then later something new can grow. So when this happens, we can say the fruit decayed or the plants decayed. They broke down, they got destroyed. Our next word is description. Description is a noun and it is many details about something. For example, she gave a good description of the person who stole her purse. So a description is talking about all of the details of something. And instead of using this word in a sentence, many times we use it as a question. For example, do you have a description of that person? Or do you have a description of that place? It is a thing that you can have that has the information, has the details about something. So I have some descriptions here, and let's see if you can try to find the person that matches the description. For example, someone who is short with brown hair and glasses. Do you see the person that matches that description? I think there's only one person that matches the description, and it is this little boy here. So I can say he matches description number 6. What about this description? Someone who is short with gray hair and a mustache. Do you see anyone that matches that description? I think the only person can be this old man. He matches the description. He is short and he has gray hair and a mustache. So this information, all of these details here, we can call that the description. Our next word is dresser. Dresser is a noun, and a dresser is a piece of furniture with drawers or shelves for holding clothing. The example says, he keeps some of his clothing in a dresser and some in a closet. So dressers, of course, look like this. Maybe there is a dresser in your bedroom or your parents' bedroom. Dressers usually will have a drawer like this that you can pull out and you can keep your clothes inside of. So again, this is called a dresser. Our next word is feature. Feature is a noun, and a feature is a specific detail about something, usually having to do with how something looks. For example, the best feature of that house is the large kitchen. So again, feature is talking about something specific, about how something looks. So if I say the best feature of the house, then it means the best looking thing of the house is the large kitchen, or the best part of the house is the large kitchen. Another example says, a baby has tiny features on its face. So we're talking about the specific things on the baby's face are tiny. They are small. I can also use feature to keep talking about other things on people's faces. I can say, her best feature are her beautiful blue eyes. Or, her features make her look like she is from a different country. It means the details on her face make her look different from the other people. Or, I like her features. It means you like the way that her face looks. You like her eyes, her nose, her mouth. All of that can be called her features. So really, you can use this word feature as a general word to talk about how something looks, the looks of something. I like the features on her face, or she has interesting features, or she has beautiful features. All of these ways are how you can use the word feature. Our next word is florist. Florist is a noun, and a florist is a person who works at growing, keeping, or arranging flowers and plants in order to sell them. For example, the florist prepared the flowers I selected in a vase. So florist is a job that someone can have, just like a teacher is a job and being a doctor is a job. Being a florist is also a job. So the florist's job is to take care of flowers and plants. They grow them, they keep them, they put them together into beautiful bunches, and then they sell them to people who want to buy flowers. That job is called a florist. Our next word is floss. Floss is a noun, and floss is a soft string used for cleaning between the teeth. The example says, use floss before you brush your teeth. So this is what floss looks like. Floss is this string, and people use this floss to clean the space between their teeth. The space between your teeth is very narrow, it's not very wide, so you need something very thin and small if you want to clean between this space well. That is why people use floss to clean between their teeth. Do you floss your teeth every day? Our next word is fluoride. Fluoride is a noun, and fluoride is a chemical that's often found in toothpaste and water to stop cavities. It is also used for medicine for people with weak bones. The example says, fluoride is a common toothpaste ingredient. So again, fluoride is a chemical. So people put fluoride in different items, such as toothpaste. And the special thing about fluoride is that it can help make your teeth harder, so they are stronger. It protects your teeth from getting cavities. So if you have a toothpaste that has fluoride, it can protect your teeth. And it also makes your bones stronger. So fluoride is very helpful for all of these things. And we can get fluoride from our toothpaste, or we can also get fluoride from our water or from other foods such as fish. The next word is force. Force is a noun, and it is power, energy, or physical strength. The example says, the force of the wind knocked down the trees. So when you're reading this sentence, you can think of force as strength or power. You can say, the strength of the wind knocked down the trees. The wind was so strong, the wind had so much force that it knocked down the trees. So force is talking about how hard you can push or how hard you can pull something. For example, this heavy box here, it takes a lot of force to pull this heavy box. But this wagon here that has wheels, do you think that it takes a lot of force to pull it? I don't think it does. It's very easy to pull it, so it doesn't take a lot of force. So when you're using the word force, think about the power or the strength that you need to do something. Does it take a lot of force or does it take a little bit? Does something like the wind have a lot of force, or does it have only a little bit of force? Glance is a verb and it means to take a quick look. For example, he glanced at the clock to see if he was late, or I tried to glance at my friend's paper during the test. Just like this person here, he is glancing at the paper during the test. So again, glance means to quickly look at something, to take a quick look. Our next word is headboard. Headboard is a noun, and the headboard is the head of the bed, the part of the bed that touches the wall. The example says, my bed has a headboard with a long shelf. So here is the bed, then this part here, the part that is touching the wall, this is what we call the headboard. Sometimes headboards are just flat like this one, or sometimes headboards can have some shelves where you can store your things on them like this. Again, this is what we call a headboard. And sometimes beds will have a headboard, but there are also beds without any headboards. What about your bed? Does your bed have a headboard? The next word is immediately. Immediately is an adverb and it means right away or at once. The example says, if he doesn't leave immediately, he'll be late for the meeting. So when you use immediately, you use it to mean that something has to be done now. It's very important. There's some reason why it needs to be done now and it can't wait until later. If you have that kind of situation, then you can use the word immediately. For example, the teacher said that we needed to sit down immediately. Or if there's a fire, you need to leave the building immediately. The next word is junk. Junk is a noun, and junk is anything that has little worth. That means it doesn't cost a lot of money anymore, maybe because it's broken or it's old. For example, I'd like to throw away some of that old junk. And junk can also be used to mean something that is garbage or something that is trash. For example, all of these things here can be considered junk. They don't cost a lot of money and they can't really be used anymore, so they are junk. And maybe in your house there is a drawer like this. A lot of people have a junk drawer that's just full of a lot of things that maybe they are useful, maybe not, but they don't get used often. The next word is magazine. Magazine is a noun, and a magazine is a large, thin book with stories, pictures, articles, and advertisements. The example says, his favorite sports magazine prints new stories every week. So magazines are different from books because they are released, they are made more often. Usually magazines will come out every week, or if not, then every month or every few months. And there's many different kinds of magazines. There's magazines that talk about things that have to do with life or sometimes your clothing. There's style magazines. There are magazines that talk about food and they give different recipes for things. Magazines usually look like this. They have some sort of article. They are telling a story about something or someone, and they include some pictures. Or sometimes magazines will have some ideas for people. Maybe people who want to decorate their home, then they can look at a home decorating magazine to get some ideas. Our next word is porch. Porch is a noun and it is a structure or covered space attached to a house. It is used as an entrance to a house and often as a place to relax. So this is what a porch in front of a house looks like. It is connected to the house, but it is open. It's outside. And here is the entrance of the house. So the porch is used as the entrance, and it's also used as some place that you can relax. So many people like to put some chairs outside on the porch and they like to sit down. The example says, The family sat and talked on the porch since the weather was nice. So sometimes when there is nice weather, people like to sit outside on their porch and talk together or enjoy a nice cool drink on a summer day. Our next word is riddle. Riddle is a noun, and a riddle is a puzzling, tricky, and often funny question asked as a game or as a test of one's thinking skill. So you can think about a riddle as a puzzle. The example says, here's a riddle. What belongs to you, but your friends use it more? So something that is yours, but your friends use it more than you do. And the answer is your name, because your name is yours, but you don't use your name that often. Instead, your friends call your name more often. So that is a riddle. And I have two other riddles here for you. This one says, you go at red, but stop at green. What am I? And there's one more. What has 4 fingers and a thumb, but isn't alive? Do you think that you can solve these 2 riddles? I'll give you a hint. Both of the answers are different things. For the first one, try to think of a fruit or a vegetable. And for the second one, try to think of something that you can wear. If you find the answer, you can let me know during the class. Our next word is rotten. Rotten is an adjective, and it is bad or spoiled, no longer able to be eaten. We talked about the word decay before. Decay is when it breaks down into nothing, but rotten is when it starts to go bad. So this apple here was fine, but after some time it gets rotten. It starts to go bad. The example says, we had to throw out several of the apples because they were rotten. And be careful with the word rotten, because if you split it, it sounds like rot-ten, but many people don't say these 2 T sounds. Instead, we say rotten, rotten, more like a D sound. Our next word is stool. Stool is a noun, and a stool is a seat on tall legs and without arms or back. For example, he was sitting on a stool by the sink peeling potatoes. This is what a stool looks like. It's just a chair, but this kind of chair doesn't have any back or any sides for you to put your arms. This is what we call a stool. Do you have any stools in your house? The next word is stubborn. Stubborn is an adjective, and someone who is stubborn is not willing to accept change or help. So someone who is stubborn does not listen. They don't want to change what they are doing. They don't want help from anyone. They are stubborn. The example says, she is very stubborn and won't do what they tell her. So for example, someone who is stubborn, let's say their teacher asks them to sit down nicely, but someone who is stubborn instead will not sit down nicely or just ignore what people say. So as you can imagine, someone who is stubborn usually also has bad behavior, or they don't follow the rules. Here in this picture, the animal is being stubborn because the man wants the animal to go, but the animal doesn't want to go. So we can say it is being stubborn. The girl here in this picture also, maybe her mom is asking her to do something, but she is not listening, so she is being stubborn. Do you think that you are stubborn sometimes, or do you know anyone who is stubborn? Our next word is stump. Stump is a noun, and the stump is a base of a tree that is left standing after the tree has been cut down. For example, after the dead tree was cut down, the kids used the large stump as a place to sit. So after a tree is cut down, the only thing that's left is this stump. Have you ever seen a stump like this? Number 27 is terrify. Terrify is a verb and it means to fill with great fear or scare. For example, big hairy spiders terrify my dad. So you can use this word terrify to mean scare or frighten. So something can terrify you. When you use it, you can use it like this. You can say spiders terrify me. Or instead of me, you can talk about someone else. Here I can say lightning terrifies this boy. Or snakes terrify me. It means I'm very scared of snakes. But terrify is not just a little bit scared. When you use the word terrify, it means very, very scared. The most scared that someone can be is terrified. Number 28 is the word wander. Wander is a verb and it means to go or walk with no purpose or plan. For example, we wandered through the halls until classes started. Or, they were lost, so they wandered through the woods. Someone who is wandering, they are walking around, but maybe they don't know where they are going, or they don't know where they want to go. So they are just walking anywhere until they find something that they like. We can say, the grandfather became lost and started to wander around the city. Or, the girl wandered through the woods looking for a place to have a picnic. So she's not lost, she's just walking around looking for a nice place. Wander can be used in both ways, as a time when someone is lost and they're walking around trying to find the way to go, or just anytime someone is walking for fun, trying to find a good place to sit down or a good place to do something. Our next word is whine. Whine is a verb and it means to make a long, high cry as a sign of pain or fear. For example, the dog whined because it wanted to go out. So whine is this high crying sound because maybe an animal is in pain or they are scared of something. When that happens, they make this whining sound. And a whining sound can sound like this. Have you ever heard a dog or an other animal make a whining sound similar to that? And the last word is zeal. Zeal is a noun and it is a feeling of excitement about something or some action. For example, the leader's followers were filled with zeal. So there is a leader and the people who follow him are feeling very excited. Maybe they really trust this leader or they think that this leader can make things better. So we can say the followers are filled with zeal. They are filled with excitement. The other example says, her zeal for helping the poor was known by everyone in the community. So there is this person and she really likes helping poor people. So we can say her zeal, her excitement for helping poor people was known by everyone. Everyone knows that she was very excited to help poor people. So when someone has this feeling of excitement, you can use this word zeal. Again, you can say they are filled with zeal, or someone has zeal for doing something. And two very good synonyms of zeal are enthusiasm and passion, especially passion. Someone who has a passion for something can also be used as someone has a zeal for something. And that's all for this video. We went over the Book C, Unit 2 vocabulary words, numbers 1 through 30. Thanks for listening and see you next time. Bye!